Hello everyone, I am Nerdstalgic, and this is another episode of our Let's Play for Let's Play Dwarf Fortress Tradeancient. I do apologize for the lack of production in the past few days. I know that some of you have probably been seeing that nothing's been coming out. I took an impromptu trip many miles away from my abode and did not have the capability to record while I was out of town, so yeah. And then I intended on recording a little bit the day that I got back, but unfortunately when I got back I was sick, so yeah, that didn't work out either. But anyways, I'm feeling better now and ready to play some Dwarf Fortress. So alright, so being that it's been a few days, I'm not really too familiar with what is actually going on. I've kind of looked around my fortress just to get an idea of what's happening. I do see that it looks like we've got a smoothing job going on here. It looks like we're smoothing out our bedrooms to give our dwarves some happy thoughts. I can see here that we are making a hospital, which is good. Okay, those need to be smoothed out as well. And if we jump down here, looks like I need to change my hotkey, don't I? Because that's not our current layer that we're kind of digging on. So let's go ahead and change that hotkey, that Shift 1 point of interest hotkey. Okay, very good. And then now we'll zoom in here. So I guess since we're here already, why don't we go ahead and dig out those gems. So we'll bring up DF hack, dig V. Okay, not too bad. And okay, that's not as good there. So yeah, we're not doing too well in our quest for metal. That is a certain thing. So it looks like the Fluxstone layer ended there, or seems to have ended there, with some diorite and phyllite. So why don't we jump down to this layer instead of mining out the one directly above it. And we'll go 20 out, see what we find. Really could use some kind of metal that we can do something with, that is for sure. Alright, okay, so it looks like our hospital is ready to go. So we're going to want to smooth that thing out before we stick any furniture in there. I wonder if we got our metal chain, gold chain. Okay, so we do have our gold chains done. We will be able to do our traction benches whenever we get that smoothed out. So we can go ahead and tell it to smooth. We'll smooth it out because, you know, if you're a dwarf and you're in the hospital, you want to have happy thoughts, right? So do we have any mandates? Oh, we have a mandate. Animal traps. Animal trap 1. And we still need to get this floor problem dealt with. Okay, so that's dug out. Okay, so I'm seeing galena. Okay, now that's a good thing. And here's why. Galena is a silver bearing metal. I'm 99.9% sure. So it's good and bad because we're not going to want to make armor out of it, but it'll make some damn fine weapons. So silver makes pretty good weapons, especially against undead. We'll probably end up with this knowledge. We'll probably end up making our first melee Melee militia unit being a unit that uses like blunt weapons, such as like warhammers, maces, and we might even crank out some silver crossbows, because those dwarves will use those crossbows in melee as like maces, so that'll be all right. Okay, so that's very good. Well, they're getting to work on that. That'll be done pretty quickly. So we've got 61 dwarves now. Okay, another mandate. Probably forbidden exports. No, he wants another animal trap. He wasn't content with the one that just got made. He's like, make another one. Alright, so let's go ahead and, excuse me, a little stopped up. So with the hospital, what you want to do is you want to have some regular beds in the hospital. So we'll just put some along this wall right here. And I'll say we'll just do 3. And then what you're also going to want is you're going to want some traction benches. Traction benches are important because that is where the doctor actually will like set bones. If you don't have a traction bench, those kinds of wounds, like you can't set it, which can lead to further complications. So we will hit large R, capital R, and oh, so we've got to actually make the traction bench first. Duh. So we will make probably just probably 2 traction benches. You don't need a whole lot, because once putting the bone into traction is done, once it's set, they'll get moved off of the traction bench. So just traction bench. The main thing you need for a traction bench, I think you need chains and maybe mechanisms. I don't normally have to build too many. And also, something you're going to want in your hospital is you're going to want a cloth stockpile for thread. And then you're going to want to go in here and you want to change your settings. And you just want to take this kind of cloth out of it. So, just forbid all of this. Threads, probably go ahead and forbid the adamantine strands, even though we're not going to be getting any for a while, if we ever do. But the rest of this is fine. And the thread is important because, well, because you need thread to sew up wounds. So Oh, I completely forgot about that. And we want to make this a hospital zone. So we will go ahead and mark all of this a hospital. Okay. And now what will happen is Chief Medical Dwarf will know that this is a hospital, as well as the rest of the dwarves. They'll know it. So when they get sick, when they feel ill, they'll automatically come here. Needs mechanisms. Yeah, exactly. I thought we had a work order for mechanisms. Where's our? No, we don't. Okay, so we're gonna want to set that up. You don't need a whole lot of mechanisms kicking around, but you want to have some. So we'll put it on repeat, and then go into our workflow constraints. Add limit, mechanism of rock, 5 to 10. Yeah, it's probably fine. I mean, the main reason that you want to set lower lower constraints is just because you don't want to tie up that dwarf for a long time. You don't want to tie up a lot of space, but that's okay. Speaking of space, we really need to do some work on our stockpiles, because Jesus, they are getting really full over here. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna floor this thing out right now. It's gonna get done. So that'll be capital C and then lowercase f, and you make a floor just kind of the same way that you make like a farm plot. You have to spread it out. So we're gonna want to cover that. Now we can't go any further, we're at the limit of our spread here, and yep, we're gonna do this because I'm tired of looking at it. We don't want to use wood, we want to use some of this lovely free stone that we have. So we need 60, so we should be able to get it done. Well, I don't know, we're probably not going to be able to get this done in the microclimate. We only have 69 units, so I don't want it to look super tacky. So let's use the gabbro. We'll just use the gabbro since we have a ton of it. You know, I've deliberated long enough. We're gonna get this done. Like so. Gabbro. And then go over. More gabbro. What's it really bit into our gabbro stockpile, didn't it? Although I'm sure we'll get more. And then that will make that look a lot better, and then I will feel fine about actually extending our stockpile up there. Okay, so we've got a lot of idlers here, which tells me it's time for some more smoothing. And these bedrooms look like they need doors, unless I'm just completely missing it. Now we can't smooth the sand down here, which is a bummer. As you can see, all of that doesn't light up. That's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and go into planning mode. Oops, I hit the wrong one. There we go. Doors everywhere. Guess I just got caught up doing something else and completely forgot to put doors there. Oops. Are they even marked as bedrooms? Yes, okay, very good. Alright, so we'll do that, and we'll go ahead and get down here set up to get smoothed as well. Just a little bit. We don't want to bite off too much. We'll smooth that stuff out, then we'll start engraving it. Do our attraction bench is done. Yes, one is done. Second one is going to be coming out shortly. How does our food look? Well, got quite a bit of drink. Looks like we got plenty of food stores. I was thinking about kicking in some more prepared meals. It could be about time for us to actually start upping our prepared meals from easy meals up to, like, you know, fine meals or lavish meals. And you know, the benefit to that is that the dwarves get more of a happy thought off of eating the higher quality prepared meal. The downside to it is they require more components. A easy meal takes 2 components, fine meal takes 3, and a lavish meal takes 4. So you have to keep that in mind. I mean, you don't want to start making the lavish meals until you just have components, you know, like food coming out of your ears, which we kind of do just because of my trading strategy. So alright, so let's go ahead and get those traction benches down, and we'll just put them over here against the wall so that the screams don't disturb the other people that are sleeping. Very good. Now another thing you might want to keep in your hospital is you might want to keep soap, you might want to keep buckets, things like that. So I don't typically mess with it too much, but soap is pretty important for cleaning wounds. If you don't clean a wound, it can get infected, which is a major problem. Okay, so let's see what's going on down here. All right, so we found some galena. So we're going to want to mine that out. Okay, not a bad size vein. This is looking promising, guys. What's this? Citrine? Okay. Speaking of which, we need to get our gem cutter back on it, because I'm sure we've got some gems piled up. Okay, that's a pretty good sized vein. That's probably going to run down some layers too. So that's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Awesome possum. Okay. And then we'll have to check back up on this to see if there's any gems that have been revealed. But that's very, very good. So we're going to go back up here, and I wonder if we're still smelting native gold. How many bars of native gold do we have? That's what I want to see. Let's look at that. Bars. 48 gold bars, 88 coke bars. So we're still doing pretty well on our coke. I think we probably can go ahead and no, we don't want those forbidden. We probably can go ahead and stop. We've got 200 gold nuggets. We're gonna stop with that, and we're actually gonna tell it to start smelting that galena on a repeat job. Okay, we've got a mandate. He wants another round of animal traps. Aye, aye, Captain. At least he just wants one. And they're quick to make. It's not at a workshop that gets backed up with other things. Okay, so what can we cut? Wood opal, sure. Sure. Pipe opal, okay. And that's it. Okay, we still making mugs? Yes, we are. Fantastic. Looks like our floor's coming in pretty nicely. It doesn't match the color here, the chert, but at least it's not this, you know, like baby puke moss. Alright, workshop, good, good. Leatherworks, huh? Might be about time for us to actually set some workflow constraints on getting some armor up. Let's look at our armored whiskers regiment here and see what they've got. Looks like they're fully equipped. I think. Yeah, good job. Okay. They're probably not gaining a whole lot of skill just yet, but well, it looks like it's raining.
No more fishing.
No more fishing. Alright, what's up here? This is craft store, rock pot, wooden bolts, okay, sure, sure. Wooden furnace is lying dormant, that's fine. What about here? Okay. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of like excess clothes floating about, which is a good thing. Okay, so that's all been smoothed. That's all been smooth, so we need to go down here and get these done. Now we are going to eventually want to smooth out the halls as well. And then engrave the halls. It'll add to the wealth of the fortress, etc., etc. It's a good thing to do. Once these floors are done, we'll expand out our stockpiles a little bit.
It is now winter.
Alright, so it's winter now. I think that's a good place for us to go ahead and put a cut in. In our next video, we will kind of do a little bit of maintenance on our stockpiles. We're going to see exactly how much silver we can draw out of the deeps. And other than that, we'll probably just wait on the next migrant wave. Once we get that silver smelted, we're going to start making some silver weapons, and we might look at making our first melee militia. It's a little dicey as to like what kind of armor they're going to wear. I don't really want to put them in leather, but we might have enough just like odds and ends armor kicking them out to alleviate that concern, but we'll just see. Alright, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you next time. Game on.